time around, I'm stepping out of the Good Day Garden and I'm taking a little field trip to Black Diamond, where I found Zach Edwards, of course, to talk us through perennials. We're going to talk some flowers today. So is it okay to be planting perennials right about now?
Yeah, we're just about to wrap up June, so you're seeing a lot of your mid to late summer perennials start to really bloom and take off. Seeing June is National Perennial Month and National Pollinator Month.
Okay.
So kind of a good 2 for 1, because there's a lot of perennials that'll check those boxes.
Okay, and you have a lot of them here for people to come and snatch up. These caught my eye. Over here, some cone flowers. They're beautiful. They look kind of like daisies, kind of like, I don't know, how do you describe a cone flower?
I mean, definitely a very rugged perennial. Good for, like we were talking about, late summer, very heat and drought tolerant.
Okay.
Deer resistant, which is a big thing for people these days.
Yes.
Yep. So very low maintenance, come in a wide variety of colors and options. So if you're an orange person, you know, and yellows, you got those. If you want more of the pinks and purples, you can see you've got those too. So we've got kind of a nice little rainbow assortment of cone flowers here right now. So, and a good pollinator and butterfly attractant as well.
Awesome. Now, are these more of a shade, or are these, or you said they're heat resistant?
Yeah,
so
more of a full sun, hot, dry.
Okay.
You know, they can do well in those types of areas. If you're having trouble with some other plants that you might have tried, you know, certainly a cone flower is a little bit more one of those bulletproof type plants.
Bulletproof. Yes, that's something that I need. And I'm seeing some beautiful colors over here on this side too.
Yes, this is an interesting plant that I don't think is as familiar. It doesn't have the name brand recognition that some other perennials do. This is technically called an agastacia. Sometimes it's called hyssop. Sometimes it is just called hummingbird mint.
Oh.
So hummingbirds definitely like the tubular shape of the flower. They like the color of it on this particular one. The yellow here is the same plant, just in a different color and a different variety. And then even this more spike-shaped one is also the same family of plant.
I'm guessing this is a pollinator, huh?
Yep, we saw a little bee there. So definitely like the hummingbirds like it as well. Butterflies actually has a really nice fragrance to it as well.
Oh, okay, lovely.
So yeah, definitely a good option for a pop of color and to attract some of those, you know, different types of pollinators and things to your garden.
Yeah, you might want to have those around if you've got a vegetable garden growing and you want to have attract them to that. What about in terms of like native plants? Because I think a lot of people want to plant something that they know is going to work pretty well in their yards. What kind of suggestions would you have for that?
So we're going to go over here in this direction.
Okay.
We have our whole native plant section right here. So we've got actually a lot of options in plants that are native that are not totally different from plants you were probably already buying already, just the native version. So this is like a bleeding heart. This is actually a good plant for shade.
Okay.
Has kind of this delicate foliage, the nice little pink flowers on it. There are a lot of different types of bleeding hearts. This just happens to be one of them that is native to, you know, the Midwest and to our region.
And perennials in general are nice because we will expect them to come back every year. So you might make a bigger investment up front in terms of price, but then they'll be back every year, right?
Yep, correct. So less work in the long term. You know, perennials always like to tell people that, you know, you're getting pockets of color, so it's a good opportunity to do a mix and match. You don't just buy one of everything. Whereas an annual, yes, it'd be in flower the day you buy it to about the day you throw it away, but then you got to do that all over again. Yeah. So it just depends on a good mix of both is great. Good
mix of both. And then you want to have things that might fill and things like that. I'm looking at, just because I'm looking straight ahead, what do we have here?
Yep, this is a nice selection on this table of some texture. You know, not everybody wants flowers. Not everybody wants even the pollinators that maybe they're allergic to bees or something like that. So this is lungwort right here, has a very interesting, unique texture to it. Even the leaf has a good feel to it. And then you've got that spotted look of the flower. Just to break up your green, this is Brunera, or sometimes called a Jack Frost plant or a bug loss. Again, that frosty color foliage, you know, not everybody loves hostas. You know, everybody's familiar with the hosta.
Right,
of course,
I've got a lot of hostas.
Yep, sometimes you just get sick of the hostas, so these are a great shade option to break up just that solid green color in your garden. And if you don't necessarily want a lot of flowers, these make a great option for you.
Okay, wonderful. So lots of choices, and as you said, now is still a good time if you want to plant some perennials for the season, then see them come back again next year.
Yep, absolutely.
We could do that now.
Yep, the soil's nice and warm. I mean, you can continue to plant all the way into the fall. And you know, perennials are one of those things, since they're not flowering flowering all year. You know, in the spring, you're going to see a great selection of the spring flowering perennials. Here in early to midsummer, you're going to see a great selection of those.
Okay.
And then even as we move into July and August, there are things that will just start to bloom at that time. And going into fall, that, you know, people love to buy color, and it's easier to pick it out and see if you like it or not when it's already blooming.
I like the sedum in the fall.
Yes, autumn joy sedum is a great one.
Yes.
There's a nice fall blooming clematis that's very dramatic, full of white flowers. So yeah, each season's got its own kind of hallmarks.
So it would be nice to plant something that you're going to see pop up, you know, kind
Yes.
of all
Yeah.
throughout the spring, summer, fall.
Yeah, mix and match, absolutely. You know, the pictures do a really good job, but when you see it, you know, live and in person, it makes a bigger impact.
And of course, if people have questions, you all are here to help them. Where are your locations?
We have 3 locations now. Our original location here in West Toledo, our location in Perrysburg, and then our newest location in Waterville.
Oh, okay, very good. So no matter where you live here in Northwest Ohio, you have a place that's fairly convenient for you to come out. Maybe plant some perennials, or if you maybe killed some of your annuals already, maybe that hot week there in
Yep.
June got the best of your annuals, you can come in and freshen those up
Absolutely.
again too.
Mother Nature has thrown us a lot of curveballs,
Yes.
but we can adapt.
All right, very good, Zach. Thank you so much for all of your advice. And of course, remember to keep sending us pictures of your gardens because we want to see how they're growing at home as well.